The College Baseball Experience Easter Weekend Preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's brought to you by Shady Rays. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the promo code SGPN for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. We're also brought to you by the Golf Gambling Podcast Tailor-Made Stealth 2 Driver Giveaway. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/driver to enter today before the big drawing, which is on April 8th. We're also brought to you by Baseball Money is Fake. Yes, that's our fantasy baseball podcast. Join Blake and Ryan 3 times a week and get all the player breakdowns, all the statistical data that you'll ever need to dominate your fantasy baseball league. So check them out. And remember, as always, to let it ride.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the College Baseball Experience. Easter weekend preview. We got some loaded matchups. I just watched the Tennessee Vols get destroyed by the Florida Gators. Now we got the San Diego Toreros clinging to a 4-0 lead, but that's in the first inning against the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Some WCC baseball, and maybe you're wondering just who the hell you're listening to. Probably a good question. But look, my name is Colby Dant, Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. I would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
I'm dying in this fucking country-ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck? I can't see pollen. And let's get the fuck out of this country, mother.
Woo! How you doing? It's good to be talking baseball. College basketball experience season just dropped an episode. Even though that season just ended, we just did a transfer portal episode. Go check that one out. But it's full-on baseball season now, folks. Baseball and preseason college football talk. We got you covered on the college baseball experience, the college football experience, the college basketball experience. We come together as one on YouTube. Subscribe over there, youtube.com/the college experience. And look.
Colby's Wi-Fi lag out here, or am I lagging out?
Yes. I'm not sure if it's mine or yours, but we're having a lot of fun here as the internet, as George W. once said, might have kind of flickered, went out, but once again, you can watch this on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. And you'll see I got a nice Ebbets Field drop behind me. And I'm joined by the nucleus of the college baseball experience, the gas that makes the engine run, the oil that makes I don't fucking know what I'm talking about, but I know this guy's fantastic. The host of the college baseball experience, also behind the scenes doing a lot of work with the college football experience, the MLB gambling podcast, the college basketball experience, the sports gambling podcast. He's all over the place. Give it up for Noah Bieniek. How you doing, brother?
How's it going, Colby? I'm doing great. I mean, today I kind of snorkeled college baseball, watched more hockey with Michigan in the Frozen Four. That's kind of my fandom, but I chose the wrong thing because Michigan lost in the Frozen Four today, whereas I could have just watched the Gators take down Chase Dolander in Game 1 of the series. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. You still had a good season for your Wolverines. Didn't get the championship, but We're going to turn the page, talk Frozen Four. Obviously we got the national championship pending, but and stick around. Maybe you'll do some shorts for that on the college experience, youtube.com/the college experience.
That short that I just made, everything was incorrect. So I don't know if people want to see one, unless I just turn into the guy they want to fade for college hockey.
No, I think they do because, once again, we keep an honest policy here. If we were making, we are decent handicappers, right? And we're not trying to sell you anything. Our picks are for free. And once again, if we were hitting every single one of our picks, we'd be on a fucking island, not talking to you, not even wanting to do this show. I'd be trying to track down, who makes the best margarita on the island. All right. So let's cut it with the bullshit. You listen to us for a reason because A, we are knowledgeable, we're entertaining, and we do know more than most. All right. It does not mean every pick. When you pick every fucking game, you might lose some. That's life. All right. So own it. Get that video out. Frozen 4 picks. Noah Bieniek knows what the hell he's talking about. They called Gretzky the Great One. That was after Noah Bieniek, believe it or not.
No, we don't.
So
on the college baseball experience, it's hard to find a lot of statistics and shit to handicap off of. So just kind of choose the best games of the day, and then I'll tweet out other games that I like. But, not doing too bad myself in the Circa contest. Tied for 12th, only 2 games out of first place, though. Not many people out there handicapping college baseball. However, I am 29-12 picking these series. So
29-12. Shout out to Derek Stevens, the owner of Circa Las Vegas. Get yourself out there if you're having a great contest. Great guy from the great state of Michigan. Look, before we dive into some other stuff here, I got to get us paid on this front. I want to tell you the College Baseball Experience Easter weekend preview episodes brought to you by Shady Rays. Kick off the new year with new gear that is built to last. Yes, our friends at Shady Rays have you covered from the sun to the slopes with premium polarized shades, customizable snow goggles, and much, much more. Look, Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company that offers truly like a world-class product that's just as good as really any like super expensive pair of sunglasses you've ever worn. They got durable frames and they're extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. All right. And that's not all. Shady Rays really does offer the most insane protection I've ever heard of in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. So let's say you're out there this weekend. You're just having a good old time and you say, well, I want to see what this Louisville Cardinal baseball team's all about, or this Coastal Carolina Chanticleer baseball team is all about, or the Pirates of East Carolina, whatever, you're out there, you're in this, we're getting closer to summer and you're having a great old time. You're having a cocktail, watching college baseball, the best environments in all of baseball. Don't give me this pro shit. I watched an Oakland A's game the other day with 12 people there. All right. Get that shit out of here. All right. We like college baseball, but you're at the game. Let's just say, I don't know, you're in Louisville, Kentucky. You're at the Cardinals game. And all of a sudden, you're wearing your Shady Rays, sucking down a beverage, and next thing you know, foul ball, boom, you get hit right in your fucking face by a foul ball. Your glasses break. You're super pissed off. All right. You're like, what am I going to do? You go back to Shady Rays the very next day. They're not even going to ask you questions. All right. They're just going to say, here's your pair of sunglasses. Have a good day, mate. That's what they're going to say. They're not Australian, but I feel like that's what they might say. And yeah, that's how good and how awesome this product is because they're not going to ask any questions. You could be throwing the ball up. You could be in the backyard of your house just playing catch, and you trip over a rock, fall down a flight of stairs to your basement, break your Shady Rays, and look, go back there and say, hey, I need to repair these. Oh, here they are, sir. Boom. Get out of here. You're good. You got a brand new pair of glasses again. What a deal. Yeah. Not even, it can be day one. Doesn't matter. You just bought those. You're on the way home. You get in a fight. Super pissed off. Don't want to punch the windshield. Just throw the sunglasses out the window. You're okay. Go back and pick those things up. Return to the store. You're okay. With Shady Rays, you can look good and you can feel good. And get this, they're a great company, honestly. To date, they have donated over 20 million meals to fight hunger with Feeding America. That is awesome. Their heart's in the right place. So check this out right now, exclusive for our listeners. Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the year. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the code SGPN for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Yes, try it for yourself. The shades, they're rated 5 stars by over 200,000 people on the internets there. Holy shit, that's a lot. All right, we're back. We're talking college baseball. I know we're going to dive into these games, but I do want to recap one specific game. Well, NC State, known to be true pieces of garbage, if I may say so. All right.
If I knew you were going in on this, I should have downloaded the video of you watching NC State losing the NCAA tournament from Vegas. That was a great rant.
That is true. That was a great one too. Look, East Carolina coming back from Houston, took on NC State, beat the tar out of them like we do every time. So in the spirit of ECU. And we have since played UCF doubleheader. We're up 2-0 in that series. We're going to talk about the third game coming up here, but that's 41 runs scored over the last 3 games. You can go ahead and you can pretty much just go ahead and give us the championship now, because I feel like
because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
The jungle was packed for that NC State game. It was absolutely fantastic. Noah, what do you make of my Pirates, and why are they going to win the national championship?
The Pirates seem like just a complete team up and down that pitching staff. Really, any day of the week, they're as strong as anybody in the country when it comes to being on the mound. And at the plate, they can piece together as many hits as they want to per an inning. I mean, really, it's you latched on to San Diego State in the NCAA tournament. That's the perfect team to, compare this East Carolina baseball team to.
And look, I watched West Virginia Marshall over the week, or throughout the past couple of days, not the weekend. Ryan McIntyre's in the chat asking about the Mountaineers top 25 program. What do you make of the Mountaineers? And should they be thankful that they're not residing in the AAC where they would have to play East Carolina?
Well, the Mountaineers do look very good this year. Surprising to the scene. Top 25 team, like Mac said in the chat, and it's because of their offense. They've got 8 starters that are hitting above 300 right now, and they are just getting enough done on the mound. It's a very nice surprise to see West Virginia doing what they're doing, and I think they're the Big 12 version of Texas A&M from last year.
Yeah, fair. I mean, look, I want to see. I know they're talking WVU ECU potential regional matchup. Let's bring it on. Let's go.
Could happen.
Yeah, and folks, remember, you can watch this on YouTube, youtube.com/thecollegeexperience. I got to get us paid one more time before we start talking every single game that we want to go through. We're brought to you by our driver giveaway. It's not too late to get on this. This is absolutely fantastic, all right? No, we're not sending you a driver, all right? But in a way, we are sending you a driver. Yes, we're brought to you by the Golf Gambling Podcast and their tailor-made driver contest. The contest is completely free to enter, and you have a chance to win an awesome tailor-made driver. The drawing will take place on Sunday, April 8th, so you can still get in here, folks. Make sure you get in by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/driver. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/driver. All right. We're back on the college baseball experience, and we're opening things up 9 a.m. tomorrow. UCF, they're heading to the Big 12 because they're about to get swept by the East Carolina Pirates. They're in Greenville. Look, big early series in the American here. ECU was picked first. UCF was picked third in the coaches' preseason polls. The Pirates swept the doubleheader earlier today with a 17-7 win in game 1 and an 11-5 win in game 2. So the bats are lit at the Jungle. Noah Bieniek, we're all over ECU here. I think everyone knows this. There's no way they're losing this game. What are you doing here?
Yeah, you're kind of correct there. ECU, they're 5-1 in the third game of the series so far this year, and the very Golden Knights are just 3-3 in game 3s. We have a confirmed starter with UCF of Dom Stagliano. Butchered that name, but even though the Pirates have a TBA, I feel pretty good about the projected starter that I have, Josh Groves. He's been your 3 the whole year. I don't know why he's not confirmed as of yet, but ECU lost his last start against Houston on Sunday, but it wasn't due to him having a bad performance. He went 5 innings deep, only gave up 1 run. On the year, Groves has the best ERA of all of ECU's starters with a 182. He's 4-0 on the year, 42 strikeouts, 20 walks, and 39.2 innings pitched. UCF starter here, Stagliano, is 3-1 with a 5.50 ERA, 32 strikeouts, 7 walks, and 33.2 innings pitched. And he's had an opponent's batting average of 261 on the year. I think the Pirates continue hitting the shit out of the ball this weekend. They may open up as a heavy minus price, but it's not a bad parlay builder at all.
Yeah, I'm getting in on the action. I'll tell you that right now. I'm an ECU guy. I'm all over this, and we're sending it off UCF to the Big 12 with a sweep. Bring out that broom.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm all over the Pirates here. Love this play, and then I'm intrigued by the second game here that we have here.
Real quick, I'm just trying to assume what some of these prices will be because we just had a lot of games wrap up recently within the hour. So odds will be posted here in the next hour and a half. So, but we're just trying to get it out. So yeah, I think ECU would open up as a heavy favorite. Parlay it, find something else you'd like.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about what we like too because this is an interesting one here. Georgia Southern. It's at 3:00 Pacific. Georgia Southern heading to Conway, South Carolina to take on Coastal Carolina. Look, Georgia Southern was the preseason favorite to win the Sun Belt East. Now, they struggled a little bit out the gate, but that's not that far of a trip down to Conway to take on the Chanticleers, who, believe it or not, the current leader in the Sun Belt East. Big time matchup here. The Chanticleers have been kind of a magical team. I remember they had a deep run. I feel like maybe a decade.
They won it all. They won it all in 2016, I think it was.
Okay, I said a decade. Well, you know what I mean. 7 years
feels like a decade. COVID adds
feels
3
like
years.
a decade after. Yeah, exactly. COVID was 100 years, right? Should we just go chalk here because Coastal's at home? I feel like that's the play for me. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm going to side with you there. Georgia Southern, they're 4-3 in game 2 so far this season. Coastal 5-2. These two teams are built to be polar opposites of each other. The Chants, offensively, they rank first in batting average and scoring in the Sun Belt. And the Eagles are built around their pitching staff, which has not lived up to the hype in the preseason. It's been quite underwhelming to start the season. Ty Fisher is going to start. He's a southpaw. He's 2-3 on the year with a 4.39 ERA, 37 strikeouts, 12 walks, and 41 innings pitched for the Eagles. And for the Chants, Matthew Potok is inked. He's 2-0 on the year in 6 starts, 24 strikeouts, 7 walks, and 24 innings pitched. Coastal is at home. This podcast pisses teal. Give me the Chanticleers here.
All over it. We do piss teal, just like Grayson McCall said. Let's fucking go. Oh, man, you're lucky I'm not in the area. I would go to some of those games. I am curious, though, what we will be doing next because, maybe you do a little Carolina parlay, a little Carolina barbecue parlay.
Wouldn't be a bad look. I love me some Carolina barbecue.
Coastal Carolina, and dare I mention another one later. But next up at 3:00 on Pacific time out here, you remember I'm recording in Los Angeles. I know you're probably listening to this elsewhere. But you got the number 20 Miami Hurricanes, who I just watched that Miami Florida State game, about a week ago. Then they're heading to Charlottesville. Bring your tiki torch as they're taking on number 7, Virginia, the Wahoos, who, had been playing great ball, but Virginia Tech pulled the upset on them not long ago. But this series was pushed back a little bit there because of some bad weather. Virginia's undefeated against aces so far this season, and Miami is 4-3. It's just another series where the dynamic duo of Kyle Teal and Jake, Geloff,
yeah.
Geloff, yeah. Win another series, win another ACC series, perhaps for the Wahoos. What are you doing here in Charlottesville? These are 2 private school pussies in my opinion. I know Virginia's public, but they act like they're private schools. I'm going chalk again here. I'm going with the Wahoos. What are you doing here?
So, like you mentioned, the series was pushed back. So we're getting a game 1 here on Friday, even though a lot of series were moved to Thursday due to Easter Sunday. But I'm assuming Miami gives Carson Ligon the start here in the first game on Friday. He threw 8 very strong innings in his last time out against Florida State. However, Nick Parker, Virginia's best starter so far this year, he was missing in action last weekend in the Commonwealth Clash. Of course, you would want to use your best pitcher of the season against your number 1 rival, but I don't know if there's an injury there. Have not been able to see that. It's been relatively unreported. So Brian Egerton stepped in and pitched pretty well for the Wahoos in game 1 last week, but they lost games 2 and 3, and we were questioning on that pitching staff depth early on in the preseason. It's a little troubling here for the Cavs, especially if Ligon can continue his success from last start to this start here. He's struggled early on in the season, so it's really just a question of momentum in this game, in my opinion. I'm going to pick Virginia to win here in game 1, but I would not be surprised to see the Canes win the series.
This is great. This is great Friday action. Look, this is what's great. You got that. You got Frozen 4 going on. You got a couple MLB games. You got some good stuff going on. The Masters, obviously. Yeah. Check out the Golf Gambling Podcast. All right, this next one, I do see something that I enjoy here. 3:00, same time, number 9, Boston College, the very golden Eagles of Boston College, heading to Louisville, Kentucky, where the home of the Louisville Slugger, take on the Cardinals. Look, since joining the ACC, Louisville is 17-5 against Boston College. The Cardinals have 38 stolen bases in their last 14 games. Everyone's Ricky Henderson on this fucking team. Do they run all over BC and continue to dominate them historically? Yes, they do. This is a bad spot for Boston College. Coming down to Louisville. I like their crowd. I feel like their crowd can get up sometimes. I am all over the Louisville Cardinals. What are you doing here? And am I an idiot?
Those are some damn good nuggets, and I'm right there with you. Louisville also won game 1 of the series here. I think that contributed big time. Boston College, however, are 6-1 in game 2s this season, whereas Louisville is 3-4. The Cards won game 1, 6-4, like I mentioned. They're going to start Greg Ferrone, who's only 1-3 on the year with a 5.40 ERA, 40 strikeouts, 21 walks, and 33.1 innings pitched. The Eagles are going to start Chris Flynn, who's been dominant this season. He's got a 6-1 record, only 1.76 ERA, 53 strikeouts, 14 walks, and 41 innings pitched. I am hoping that the books are going to drop BC around -110 or at somewhat of a plus price. That way it would be a little bit enticing for me. I don't expect them to be favored here. However, like if they're a dog price, I'd be willing to take the Eagles. I have Louisville picked in the 11.7 circa pick'em contest. They won game 1. Hoping that they probably just pick up game 3 and maybe we can get a dog to pass for BC in game 2, cash on a plus money price. I'll be waiting to see on that one. I might pull the trigger there, Colby.
There we go. I'm telling you, I'm pulling the trigger on the Louisville Cardinals, but yeah, you should. Look, and I see San Diego adds to that lead against the Bulldogs of Gonzaga, now 5-0 in the third. The Toreros playing some good ball up there in Spokane right now. Next up, game 2, we got 3:30 p.m. Number 3, Florida, the Gators. We just watched this game tonight. Their game 2 going on here in Knoxville against number 11 Tennessee. And look, I get it. Last weekend, Tennessee played the number 1 team on the country on the road. This week, they host the number 3 team at home, where they are, 117 at old Lindsey Nelson Stadium since the beginning of 2020. From what I saw today, I can't fade the Gators. Give me the Gators on the road, even though I love Tennessee. Last year I can't. They were like the Ric Flair of college baseball last year. So I want to root for them, but I think that it's just a bad spot for them. I'm on the Gators. What are you doing here?
Yeah, 117 in Lindsey Nelson since 2020. My Florida Gators, however, are 5-2 in games 2 in weekend series this season. Tennessee 4-3. This is possibly the most notable game 2 starting pitching matchup in the entire country. Both these guys on paper look incredible. However, in SEC play, Chase Burns, he's only pitched 3 games and he's got a 10.29 ERA. He's gotten roughed up in SEC play, whereas Hurston Waldrop, he has a 5.82 ERA in his 3 SEC appearances as well. So I think the over is a good look here in this game. In the 11.7 circa pick'em contest, I couldn't fade my Gators either. Plus, it helps me out. It sets me apart from the rest of the field. I'm not too chalky after all. Doing pretty well in that contest. I feel okay. Just getting one wrong if it's on my team. Give me my Gators, and I like that offense in game 2 here against Chase Burns.
Love it. We're seeing eye to eye on a lot of stuff. Now, here is where it could get interesting. 4:00 on the West, the number 1 LSU Tigers are heading to Columbia, South Carolina, to take on number 6 Gamecocks. Look, the Tigers have posted series victories, over number 11 A&M, number 3 Arkansas, number 9 Tennessee, making it the first time since they've done that since 2013's LSU has won its first 3, since they won their first 3 league series. So, remember that Carolina parlay I was talking about of East Carolina, Coastal Carolina?
Yeah, I do.
What if we add the Gamecocks, a little upset special going on in Columbia, not for the series, but for tomorrow? Let's go.
That would really spice it up and help the parlay odds.
That's what I'm saying. I think we add the Gamecocks, Carolina barbecue parlay. I know South Carolina is not known for their barbecue, but fuck it. It's got Carolina in the name. We're going there. So come take a dip with some Carolina barbecue parlay here. Am I a maniac? Because I know LSU's been fire this year, and I know I'm lucky that Matt's not here to shit on me for this pick. What do you think? Am I a maniac?
We're both lucky that Matt's not here to shit on us because we're aligning quite well on this pod so far. I think it's worth a play here and in game 3. I'll touch on that in a second. But, the undisputed number 1 roster in the country, taking on my favorite preseason sleeper. And I put money on the Gamecocks to get to Omaha at 25-2. I'm crossing my fingers because those Gamecocks are not being slept on anymore. After starting SEC against Georgia, Missouri, and Mississippi State, who are all looking rough this year, this is South Carolina's first step up in conference play, and it's against the number 1 team in the country. LSU is going to pitch Ty Floyd, who is in the middle of a breakout year. He's 5-0 with a 2.87 ERA, 36 strikeouts, 10 walks, and 31 innings pitched. The Gamecocks, they're going to start Jack Mahoney, who's also without a loss on the year so far, 3-0, 2.72 ERA, 38 strikeouts, 9 walks, and 36.1 innings pitched. This would be a nice look for an under, and I think depending on the price, South Carolina would be worth a play here in game 2. However, game 3 is my better look because Thatcher Ward got blown up in his last start against Tennessee, didn't even get an out in the first inning. So LSU is choosing to start Christian Little, Vanderbilt transfer, but it's going to be his first start on the weekend against an SEC opponent. So really interested to see what the Gamecocks price is in game 3. However, if it's plus 150 or longer, I like South Carolina on the money line here.
Oh, you're speaking to me. The Carolina parlay is thriving. Shout out to the chat. We got Dick Gertzberger and Nags all in the chat talking college baseball here. The white vinegar Carolina stuff's the real deal. That's right. Come join us on our Carolina 3-team parlay. Let's
Carolina barbecue parlay.
Yeah, Carolina barbecue. I almost fucked that up. But this next one I like because this little rivalry game going on. 4:30 p.m. Look, Abilene Christian is at Sam Houston State. Look, I mean, what, game 2, right? It's a game. I'm sorry, and I should have prefaced that last time. It was game 2. Abilene Christian, Sam Houston State, they're both in the WAC for like a cup of coffee here, but they are the top 2 teams in the WAC, and they're battling out over at Don Sanders Stadium, where the Bearcats are 12-4 against Abilene Christian. Oh, sign me up for this one. This is just good old-fashioned Texas baseball here. I'm riding the Bearcats at home, man. Shout out to my guy, Go Bearcats, who's in our Discord, in our chat. He's a huge Sam Houston State fan, and I know he's been following them closely. I'm buying into what's going on here, especially when you tell me they're 12-4 against the Wildcats at Sanders Stadium. Give me Sam Houston. What are you doing here?
I'm going to go the other way in this one. I'm going to look up because like I mentioned, I was snorkeling a little bit. I don't see a final score for game 1 in the series. However, Abilene Christian is 6-1 in game 2s this on the weekend and this year so far, and Sam Houston State's only 4-3. The starting pitching matchup is going to be Breck Eichelberger for the Wildcats, who's 4-0 on the year with a 3.31 ERA, 30 strikeouts, 10 walks, and 32.2 innings pitched. And Stephen Beard, the 6th cousin of Matt Beard, our buddy here on the pod, he's going to start for Sam Houston State, who's 3-2 on the year with a 4.89 ERA, 29 strikeouts, 9 walks, and 38.2 innings pitched. I'm going to take Abilene, especially because I think they might be able to get a good underdog price here from the books. So I think it's worth a shot knowing that they're 6-1 in game 2s with Eichelberger on the mound. However, I did go with the home team and pick the Bearcats in the circa 11.7.
Benedicting a little bit, buddy.
Just switching sides for game 2. Sam Houston's going to win game 1 and game 3.
Well, I'm intrigued for this next one here. I caught UC Santa Barbara. I want to say they were taking on Santa Cruz last week. We were earlier in the week. We were watching that game in the studio. That was the lone game on. And we were watching. I was impressed by the Gauchos. They head to Fullerton, California, down in Orange County. And look, the Gauchos and Titans are doing their best to revive Big West baseball. I mean, from a national level. We love Big West baseball here on the College Experience. UCSB has not lost a series to Fullerton since 2017. So the Gauchos are dominating here of late. Cal State Fullerton, historically such a good baseball program. Can they find their mojo against the Gauchos? I say no. Give me Santa Barbara on the road. Let's go. What are you doing here?
I say no, too, because looking at game 1 right now, they're losing. Santa Barbara is up 14-0 on Fullerton. So UCSB is 4-3 in game 2s on the weekend so far this year, whereas Fullerton is 2-5, albeit they did schedule pretty well in the non-conference this season. I'm projecting that All-American Mike Gutierrez is going to get the start off of injury here in game 2. It would be his first start back in, I think, 2 weeks for the Gauchos. If that's true, I think that they're going to just roll. Fullerton's going to start Trevor Hinkle, who's 0-3 with an 8.29 ERA, 31 strikeouts, 14 walks, and 33.2 innings pitched. Especially if the Fullerton bats are not showing up. They getting shut out in game 1 here. That was the whole reason why I did take Fullerton in that contest. So it's going to be probably my one loss this week. If Gutierrez starts, this is a hammer spot and probably a very nice parlay piece.
There we go. Let's go. I mean, the Gauchos dominating this thing. The Gauchos, I'm telling you, we caught them live in the studio. We had 3 or 4 people in the studio watching, saying this team's not bad. Let's go.
Really good pitching.
Yeah, let's go. Next up, we hop on over to this is a very intriguing matchup going on in Fort Worth, Texas. As Oklahoma State, number 16 in the nation, the Cowboys there against TCU. Look, we know, well, first off, I'm friends with the athletic director at TCU, so but TCU's star shortstop, Braden Taylor, was ejected from a midweek game. He's currently suspended for a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, don't get me started. All right, but will that affect the Frogs, in their biggest home series of the year, perhaps against the number 1 team in the Big 12? Sometimes I think you get up when you got a man out. All right? You got a man out. I am all over TCU. Upset special going on in Fort Worth here. You saw it in basketball. They made the NCAA tournament. They're turning into a basketball school. You saw it in football where they went to the national championship, even though they got destroyed. It's a building step. This program was in the WAC 20 years ago. And they're doing a phenomenal job. I'm all over TCU. Am I maniac?
I think you're a maniac a little bit here. Just because it is a sneaky move here from Josh Holliday, the manager of Oklahoma State. He likes to start his ace in game 2, or at least this year. He likes to start Warren Watts-Brown. He's a transfer from Long Beach State. I expect him to start game 2 here against TCU. TCU lost 7-6 in game 1. I think it's more like just a sucker punch kind of, because that was the game that they were really getting up for. Watts-Brown this year is 4-1 with a 2.61 ERA, 67 strikeouts, only 17 walks, and only 41.1 innings pitched. So the Horned Frogs, they're going to start Cole Klecker, who's 5-2, 3.41 ERA, 27 strikeouts, 7 walks, and 37 innings. So he's not bad. But Colby, I am going to lock up the Pokes. I think Oklahoma State is going to win this game, win the series. They just don't lose when Warren Watts-Brown is on the mound.
Well, my friend.
He's going to play Tecmo.
Well, my friend.
He's looking for it on that 80.
We might have a little battle here. I'm going to rep my Horned Frogs. You go with your Pokes. All right, I've been to Stillwater. Wasn't impressed. Bring it on. Let's go.
Is the water still there?
Well, not when I was drinking it. Cocktails. I didn't try the actual water. The fire water I tried. Okay. I mean, this next matchup just
save the best for last.
We got the Civil War. The Civil War happening here. Yes, they said they're not going to call this rivalry the Civil War anymore because, yeah, of course we do. Because if anyone knows anything about history, the state of Oregon had fucking absolutely nothing to do with the Civil War. How anyone can somehow say, wait, what? Did Stonewall Jackson play for Oregon? What the fuck is going on here? This is so stupid. It's that the whole state of Oregon. How about look, and I love the state of Oregon is beautiful, but what is going on here? I think I read a story in the past 2 years of like the kindergarten cop wasn't allowed to be, or they were playing it at like one of those vintage movie theaters where they play old movies. And there was like a petition to get Kindergarten Cop, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, down because it was showing police in a positive light. You fucking maniacs. It's a fucking fictional movie. Jeez. I mean, this fucking stupid state. Anyway, I'm excited to watch this game. I do love the state too. It's beautiful. But what the fuck is going on over there? I look, this is a rivalry game. This is why football, basketball, baseball, it doesn't matter. I want to watch these games. And you got Oregon State, the Beavers, who got a proud program heading to Eugene to take on the Ducks. This game, game one was rained out, moved to Friday. So last year, Oregon State went, 5-0 against the Ducks in the season series. I got an upset brewing again. Give me the Beavers getting it done. I believe in the culture in Corvallis. I know Oregon's got that Nike blood money. All right. Yeah. Where are you protesting that? So look, you can't show cops. You can't show Kindergarten Cop in a movie theater, but you can have fucking 8-year-olds, thousands of 8-year-olds make your fucking your uniforms for Oregon every different color. It's a ridiculous fucking thing. Where's the outcry over there? Noah, just a general principle, you got to be riding the Beavers here, right?
I mean, as we know, last year Oregon State was that team that I was all in on. And college baseball in the state of Oregon is just a little bit more weird than everywhere else. You know, Oregon's kind of the little brother of Oregon State. They disbanded their program in the early, in the late 1900s, and then they restarted it in the early 2000s. And since, Oregon State's just been dominating. However,
Beaver.
However, both teams, they're 5-2 on Ace Day so far this year. We're going to see both Friday night starters go here on Friday night after that rain out on Thursday. Jaron Hunter for Oregon State. He's 1-1 on the year with a 3.34 ERA, 24 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 29.2 innings. He's going to face Oregon's Jay Stofall, who's 3-2, 4.13 ERA, 27 strikeouts, 14 walks, and 28.1 innings pitched. I think both these guys are very similar on the mound. I think it's a matchup of big brother versus little brother, where little bro has a lot of hype around them. It might be just a little bit too much here, especially at home. Everybody's going to show up on Friday for the doubleheader. I think the moment might be a little bit too big for the Ducks. I'm going to go with the Beavers here, especially if you're putting this program in front of a plus.
Nice Beaver. Nice Beaver.
Let's go. I'm all over the Beavers. Lock it up.
All right. There we go.
A great spot to catch them. And look, this is our slate. Now let's talk about this here. Let's talk about before we get out of here. Obviously we got the Carolina parlay going.
Yep.
I'm putting a substantial amount of money on all three of the Carolina schools independently, but I'm also riding the Louisville Cardinals. I'm also riding the TCU Horned Frogs, and I just convinced myself to get some of that Oregon State Beaver action. What's your top 3 plays of the weekend?
Pardon me for flipping old-fashioned paper notebook pages, but I am going to go with I like your Carolina parlay. Even if it was just East Carolina and Coastal Carolina, that's great enough for me. You don't even need to add South Carolina to increase those odds.
Divide them up. You can do 3, or I'm sorry, 2. I'm betting all independently. Look, a lot of times when I bet a parlay, I also bet them independently too. Diversify.
Yeah. You have to. If you like them all 3 together, if they're not crazy minus 200s, you got to bet them individually. For me, I'm going to lock up. So I like Oklahoma State a lot. And I also like Boston College against your Louisville Cardinals. So if BC opens as a dog, I'll take that as my underdog. My lock, probably Oklahoma State, Colby.
Well, you got to learn the hard way sometimes. Wasn't it that season opener you're going up against? You were taking the Hokies against the Charleston Cougars. I tried to warn you, but you do know your baseball. For
my third play, I'm also going to give out what should be a dog here. Abilene Christian at Sam Houston. They haven't had great success lately at Sam Houston, but I think they've got the better pitcher on the mound in that game. So those are my best 3.
Yeah, I don't trust that one. That's a rivalry game. Throw the record. I know the Oregon State's a rivalry game, but I feel like Oregon State kind of bitches them. Whereas the Abilene Christian game, probably going to back away from that one. But folks, Don't back away from us. We are the College Baseball Experience. We're here every single week till they crown a champion in Omaha, Nebraska. You know that thing is absolutely one of the most underrated sporting events in America. We're here all year. All right, give us a follow on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Remember, subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. And also subscribe to our other stuff, the College Basketball Experience, the College Football Experience. Talk those shows year-round, people. Also, Noah does great work with the MLB Gambling Podcast. Look, if you like college baseball, chances are you probably like MLB too. That season's in full swing now. Hop on over there. Subscribe to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Give Noah a follow, too, on Twitter at 77NB. That is the word 70, the number 7, and NB as in New Balance. So, look, and also, not as in Noah Bieniek, but sorry, I'm a little slow. Also, give me a follow at the Colby D. Folks, we're excited for this action. Enjoy your Easter. Have a wonderful weekend with your family. Kick back, enjoy life. But at the same time, maybe you throw on a couple college baseball games. I know you'll be watching the Masters, maybe some XFL.
Your God's eye, you get some XFL, some Masters, college baseball, NHL.
Frozen 4, NHL.
Yeah,
pretty.
Forgot about that. When Michigan gets eliminated, the season's over. It's baseball season.
That's spoken like a true fan, folks.
Spoken like a true snorkeler.
Yes. But also, I do host the XFL Gambling Podcast and the USFL Gambling Podcast. Check out those. All right, folks. Until next week, I appreciate you, tuning in and checking out the baseball experience, the college baseball experience, that is. So until next week, let's fucking go. This is the College Baseball Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.